I'm Roslyn Nieves. Welcome to Queen's Perspectives. I'm with Sami Shumays. He is a multifaceted arts administrator, musician, educator, and the deputy director of Flushing Town Hall. Sami, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me, Roz. It's great to see you again.
You too. And the last time I saw you was pre-COVID. How have you been?
I've been good. Under the circumstances, myself and Flushing Town Hall, we've been surviving.
How have they adapted over the past year?
Well, so Flushing Town Hall was one of the first cultural venues to close in the city because of where we're located in Flushing. Our first event to close was actually our Chinese Temple Bazaar for the Lunar New Year 2020, February 1st. So we kind of hesitantly were unsure through February of 2020, but then ended up closing like the rest of the city in mid-March. Since mid-March, we really made a quick pivot to online programs. That included both of our concert programs, our normal programs for adult audiences, as well as our arts education programs. So we were lucky enough, I have to say, to receive some of the federal grants and emergency funds from some of the foundations. So big shout out to supporters in government and foundation world for getting emergency funds together for arts institutions. That meant for us that even though our doors have been closed since March 13th, we've been able to retain our staff and hire back artists to do new programs. So between March and December of 2020, we actually produced 265 online programs.
Excellent.
We reached about 30,000 audience members, and we were able to hire or employ more than 300 artists in one way or another during that time period. So we've been super busy on staff, just trying to do as much as we can to keep ourselves out there, to keep global arts and culture on everybody's radar.
And to definitely stay relevant. You did everything virtually.
Yep.
You pivoted. You brought back live performances on stage. What have you presented? Name drop for us.
Yes. Well, so we just had our very first online performance a couple weeks ago that featured, our first performance from the stage of Flushing Town Hall. It was a live stream featuring the great Broadway deity, Andre de Shields. And he did an amazing rendition of Frederick Douglass. He created this theater piece, I guess, about a decade ago, and he's reviving it now. So we had him live on our stage. It was amazing for us because that was our first performance, and we had been upgrading our tech in the theater to make it happen. And it was like sort of our first test. But Andre was amazing, both as a performer and just wonderful to work with in the space. And he brought back Frederick Douglass, who originally spoke at Flushing Town Hall in 1865. So
Excellent.
It was the culmination of our Black History Month trilogy that also featured Lillias White and Alton Fitzgerald Brown. So that was the first live one. And we're doing another live one, actually just a day or two after this broadcast. On March 26th, we're gonna have Mala Waldron, who is a fantastic jazz pianist. And she's gonna do a tribute to Minnie Riperton and Joni Mitchell. It's gonna be an amazing show. That's gonna be, again, live from our theater on Friday night, March 26th. So we're very slowly returning to events in the theater. We're gonna have about one a month, and then maybe by summertime, we might be welcoming people into the garden. We're trying to be really cautious at Flushing Town Hall, just because things are still uncertain right now. We're erring on the side of safety to protect ourselves and our communities, but we're keeping busy. Even as we start to go back on to in-person events, we're going to keep going with the online programs because we've found that we've gotten a lot of great reception from them. And so another event that people can check out, I think it's April 14th, will be our next monthly jazz jam. We've been doing these virtual jazz jams since April of 2020. So we have a monthly jazz jam that's been going for almost a decade, where jazz musicians can come and perform at Flushing Town Hall with a house band. Really popular event, one of our sad things to lose, but what's great is we revived it virtually, and we've been getting submissions now from all over the country and actually from all over the world. So we have some international jazz artists who are contributing to our virtual jazz jams. So that should be really exciting. Let me see if I have the date for the next one. So the next
excellent.
jazz jam will be April 14th, Wednesday, April 14th. It's
Nice.
this Armstrong Legacy Virtual Jazz Jam. And those happen once a month. Hopefully by the fall, we'll be able to return to in-person jazz jams, but yeah.
And is some of this available after the presentation for people to see on your website afterwards?
Yeah, I suggest people go to our YouTube channel. We were originally going to keep the Andre DeShields performance up for only 48 hours, and it got 6,000 views in the first 3 days. So
Nice.
That's been requested that we keep that up. So definitely check out Flushing Town Hall's YouTube channel. A lot of our online stuff has been on YouTube. Of course, people can go to our website, flushingtownhall.org, but we are trying to keep up a lot of the content on our YouTube channel.
Excellent. And QPTV is going to feature a Flushing Town Hall program on Friday, April 30th at 9 p.m. and we'll post the channel lineup. What can our viewers expect on April 30th? And it's International Jazz Day.
That's right. Well, we're going to show viewers a mix of content. So we're going to show some of the best of our previous online performances. I think maybe we'll have some excerpts of Andre DeShields and probably our Chinese Temple Bazaar, which went online this year, as well as some of our jazz content that's coming in April and March. It's going to be a mix. I'll leave it be kind of a surprise, but Flushing Town Hall is known for the diversity of our programming for our global scope. So viewers can expect to see a mix of music and dance from different world cultures, as well as a fair amount of jazz.
Excellent. Are you offering any kids and senior classes or programs? Seniors like to have fun.
Yeah, well, we've been doing a lot of online programs for kids, especially tailored towards school students. Before the pandemic, we were serving around 21,000 school students annually, working in 50 to 60 schools annually in Queens. And a lot of those schools really felt the need to keep having our arts ed content as they moved to remote school. So we've been providing workshops, whether that's in Colombian drumming or African dance. We've been providing that content for students. Some of that is available for the public. Again, people should check out our YouTube channel, because we have lessons, workshops, concert rebroadcasts, a lot of stuff happening on YouTube.
Excellent. So many arts and cultural institutions are suffering amid the pandemic. So in that regard, how has Flushing Town Hall been doing?
Well, I would say good and bad. So I'll start with the bad. No matter how much we've survived, the fact that we cannot have audiences in the theater is a tragedy. We have such amazing audiences, such amazingly diverse global audiences from Queens, people who really appreciate a variety of culture. I know, Roz, you came to some of our global mashup events over the past few years, where we bring bands from one country and another country together to jam on stage, and just the way that lights people up to see different things mixed together and celebrating different cultures in person. The loss of that is a great tragedy. We, of course, lost a lot of revenue, a lot of earned revenue. Although for us, because we're a nonprofit, we rely more on donations, and we keep our ticket prices in general super low to support our local audiences. the ticket revenue was not the hugest loss. Some of it was a loss of rental revenue. People like to go to Flushing Town Hall to get married or have parties. We suffered a significant loss in revenue, but we were fortunate enough to, as I said earlier, get funds, from the Payroll Protection Act, emergency funds from the NEA, from the New York Community Trust, that has enabled us to keep our staff whole. We didn't lay off staff. And to hire back some of the teaching artists and other artists who lost work in the immediate shutdown. So we've been fortunate to be able to hold our family together, so to speak, of the staff and the artists that we work with. But everyone really wants to be back to working in person. I would say the positive side is really, like I was saying, we've reached some international audiences. We've proved the resilience of our staff. We've been able to hold people together. There's been a lot positive to come out of it, but nothing is as good as having
live concerts with people being able to touch each other. Your dance class, that was one of the highlights of the global mashups, to learn things, different cultural sort of dances, and it's just wonderful. And one band plays, and another band plays, and then they mash it up, and people just have fun, and they let loose. And it's people of all ages that come to Flushing Town Hall. It's definitely a gem in the community.
Thank you so much.
And lastly, give the information again about Flushing Town Hall and where people can go to check you out.
Yeah, so people should check us out at flushingtownhall.org, and they can find links there to our YouTube page and our other social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram as well. People should definitely check out the event with Mala Waldron on March 26th. And people should also check out, there's going to be a fantastic Crazy Talented Asians event, which is going to be Asian American comics, coming up on April, what's the date on that? April 17th. Crazy Talented Asians and Friends. That's all on our website. So I think if people go to our website, Louis Armstrong Eternity Jazz Band on April 30th, I think. So all that's on our website under the events page, flushingtownhall.org, and people get a preview of more stuff on QPTV.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. And to our viewers, listen, if you haven't been to Flushing Town Hall, you have to go once everything opens up. Visit flushingtownhall.org to keep abreast of all their upcoming events.
Thank you so much, Roz.
Thank you.